Hello my friends, Jacob is here once again. What about this, huh? Back on the virtual set. I guess you figured out by now that I made the decision. Whether right or wrong, who knows? I'm going to tell you about it a little later in the show. This artifact that they found, this 3,500-year-old artifact that they found by a 6-year-old boy, is quite significant, quite profound, and it really resonates with what I'm going through right now, with probably what a lot of you are going through right now. I got a great show coming in the future. It's going to tie in Noah's flood to all of this right now, so I want you to be encouraged. But this program, I want you to be a little more buckled up, because there's something forming out there in space, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. A new planet. First time ever, they discovered a new planet being formed with all the gas and all that cool stuff. Yeah. So while we have this new thing being formed, we also have an artifact of a slave, a prisoner, a Canaanite prisoner being carried away. And what this means, whew, you're going to want to buckle up for this one. Welcome back. New planet being formed. That's cool. We'll get into that in a second. But first, let me tell you a little bit about my decision. Yeah, so I decided to go back to work. Now, I don't know if it's like an omen, because I got this little sign that hangs up on the door. It's the welcome sign. Every time I come in, that thing's fallen. Never fell before. I don't know. 3 days in a row, 4 days in a row now. Fall, fall, fall. I got to keep putting it back up. I don't know. Feel a little out of my comfort zone. I'm not going to be making probably nowhere near the amount of money that I was before, and it wasn't a lot of money to begin with. But it was enough to take care of my family and everything else. And it was enough to keep me from having to come on here and share what I'm sharing with all of you and trying to make a buck from it, right? It's hard enough with being censored and everything else, but my belief was I didn't come on here to start making money. I came on here to share. And the fact that the channel began to grow and then YouTube begins to pay you with advertisers, which, by the way, some of you are sending me some of the disgusting ads that they play, which is so weird. It's almost like they do it on purpose. And I see channel after channel being, taken down, and I know that my stuff is very, very different. I know I'm a lot different than most YouTubers in this niche world, but I still feel like at any moment the lights could go out. That's why I've asked a lot of people recently to subscribe to my website. It's right there, one of the corners. I don't know which one it is. It's jacobisrael.com. It's free. I'm going to be doing something over there very, very shortly. A lot of people are going to be interested in it. So I think you should subscribe today. That way, if something does happen and the lights go out for me on YouTube, you know where to find me. That all being said, I didn't want to have to turn this into a business. I didn't want to have to put stuff behind a paywall. I'm really grateful, by the way, for those that support me. Those that, people that share the channel around, that hit like, that leave a comment, that believe in what's being done here, people that are in Patreon, people that are support. I mean, it blows my mind. The people that go through PayPal, it's grateful, but I don't want to have to ask for it, right? I don't want to have to ask for it. You see what I'm saying? And if I was to not go back and take my day job, I felt like I would have to. And that I would be then motivated to try to get, I don't want to be that YouTuber where, like I today have a pretty popular YouTuber that many of you may know. I go to watch one of their videos and it's really just a promotion for another video that you have to pay, you have to pay to get to watch. It's just, I don't want to be that guy, I want to be able to share, and I believe that the more people that watch, I believe that that'll be enough, Maybe it's just fear. Maybe I'm just scared that, maybe to take the next step. But that being said, I'm doing it anyway. So I'm back and I'm going to help people. I'm going to help people find rest. That's what I do. I love doing it. And I'm going to help people find rest here. So that was my big decision that I had to make. And really what weighed very heavily on me was all of you. because I don't want any of you to think that I'm insincere. Because, today, people think that everybody's motivated by money, and I'm simply not. But it's a reality. I have to pay the bill. So that's why I'm here. So don't be upset with the virtual set, because I may have to do this before I start my shift or during one of my breaks or something else. And that's why I'm here today. So I hope you're happy. Let's talk about the news. And it was an artifact. It was a Canaanite prison scene. Okay, so this is what it was. So you see the picture. You see the prisoner with his arms like yanked back real far, right? And then you see the other, whoever it is, the prison guard or the royal person that is taking this, or just someone who's in captivity. And ironically, we can feel a lot like that. We can feel a lot like that. And just recently, while I'm doing this transition coming back to work, which is good though, because I didn't get any unemployment, and it's going to be very helpful. I'm very grateful for the job. I know a lot of people want to get back to work, and it was a wonderful thing to be able to drive back. So I don't want to make it sound like, I'd rather be home. I'm going to be honest. I'd rather be home. And I'm not being scared, or maybe I am. I don't know. I'm just being honest with you. In times when you really don't know what to do, you seek multiple counsel. And this just made the most sense. And so if I was feeling a little bit like a slave, maybe at one point before I was having a little bit of faith, and then I come across this story, I'm like, oh, isn't that interesting? Because Canaan is supposed to be the land of the free. 3,500-year-old Canaanite prison scene, it got me. It got me. 6-year-old hiking with his family before the March lockdown, which is ironic. So this happened, they found the prison scene right before the lockdown. It's coincidental. Wait till you see the show, by the way, that I'm working on that has to do with Noah. Wait till you see the show. So many breadcrumbs, so many things connected. This one finding is going to make a lot more sense when I talk about that show. But you have the picture of this prisoner, being yanked, being goaded forward with his arms yanked back. It's kind of sad. But at the same time I'm reading this story, I'm reminded of that new planet that was being formed. But before I tell you how I think the two are linked, it's just, the timing. Like, we're in this interesting time. I talked a lot on the channel about these eclipses, right? The one that happened, the Great American Eclipse back in 2017, and the one that's going to happen again in 2024. And I had said about 3.5 years in between is really when we're going to kind of see some interesting things happen. And we've seen it happen. So 3,500 years, I thought immediately of prisoner about halfway through. About halfway through. You can feel like a prisoner going halfway through this. But I think that there's going to be some good news that's going to come out. I know a lot of this isn't going to make a lot of sense until you see the next video. But I do believe that the time that we're in right now is a time where the prisoners are going to be set free. And the problem is we were set free, right? God set us free from a lot of things. And then do we willingly go back? Like, I willingly went back to work. Do we willingly go back because maybe we're scared that God's not going to provide for us? That doesn't show a lot of that faith that you're always talking about, right, Jacob? These are the things that you think in your head. But see, at times it's very hard to understand the things of God. So you just have to trust that God is in charge, and you kind of do what you think is the best thing to do. And the best part is, now it's driving me to get all of you to go to my website so that you can go even deeper and to understand the things of God, because I have hundreds of essays that I've written there. Things that, I can't really share on here because it's something that needs to be read and needs to be digested. Or maybe you're scared, you put all your eggs in this basket, and you find out that they don't like the stuff that you're sharing anymore. It's a little too controversial. You're helping people to be set free. And then they turn you off. At least, I'll have the job. So yeah, I got to be honest. I'm operating a little bit, but not just because I'm not. These are decisions that you make together. Danielle and I made it together, and we thought that it was the best. It was the best to try this. But it's ironic that I used the eggs, and because remember the video that I did about the nests just recently? Well, I was talking about virus of the crown as well in that, and for some reason YouTube said, "Hey, you can't talk about that, so that's not allowed to do that," and so I just deleted it. I just deleted the video, which was a shame because I really liked those nests and I liked what they represented. Because, the story of the nest obviously is like when the nest gets too comfortable, the birds won't fly away. So when you're growing, they build it a certain way so that at a certain point, it gets too uncomfortable to stay. So the question then becomes, let's see if this nest that I'm at right now is going to get too uncomfortable so that I finally say, you know what, Lord, I'm just going to... But you see, the difference here with my job is that, and this is the reason why I chose this job, is that I can continue to do this. I can continue to share with all of you and also help other people in the real world, right? But I find it strange that the welcome sign fell down like every single day. I do find it strange. I do find it weird. I do find it strange also that after I put the nests up there and I was so happy that someone warned me about the bird mites and now they're not on the set either. I do find it strange. It's almost like maybe I'm missing the point. I don't know. See, here's the thing with decisions. Sometimes you make decisions, you got to stick with them, but you got to pray about things. And right now I'm praying, do I stay or do I go? Do I continue on here or do I try to branch out and do more? I don't know what to do. So in the meantime, instead of putting that burden on all of you, I'm going to be happy here because I love my job anyway. I just hope it doesn't get too uncomfortable with everything because it seems like it could get a little uncomfortable. So forgive me if I'm not acting in enough faith, but I think I think I'm doing the right thing. I think I'm doing the right thing. I don't know. Let's talk about the new planet that's being formed because that's very hopeful. And in the video that, like I said before, on Noah that I'm going to talk about in, I don't know, a day or two, 2 days, 3 days, tops, maybe 4 days. I don't know. I don't want to put a date on it because I don't want to let anybody down. It's going to be very encouraging because I do see something really good happening. And this is part of it, okay? Because at the same time, I see this little artifact with the slave, right? With the prisoner. I also see about this new planet that's being formed. Astronomers see first evidence of new planet being born. That's never happened before. Very large telescope spear instrument shows the disk around the young AB star, where astronomers spotted signs of planet birth. Close to the center in the inner region of the disk there's a twist, a distinctive twist in the disk of gas and dust surrounding it. It's like a twist that kind of looks like that. So while things seem spooky and while things seem like, nothing good is going to come out of all this, there's a new planet being born. Do you see what I'm getting at? There's something in the works right now. And the way it's formed, by the way, it has to do with pressure. Pressure. Yeah, that's right. That's how a diamond is formed, by the way. That's how the wine is so beautiful, so wonderful. First, the grapes are picked, right? Then they're smashed, and then they're scraped, and then they're pressed, and then they're left to stew, and all of that nonsense. And then the sweet, sweet wine comes. Good things come out of hard times, people. And because of that pressure, a star, planet, but a star is being born. That's right. Star of the show is you or me. Your life, biggest blockbuster of all time. Today, never before happened, right? Never before. This is unprecedented, what we're going through. And good things are going to come out of it. Pressure, right? Pressure. That's how you get the diamond. Pressure, that's how you get the sweet, sweet wine. Pressure, that's how you get the oil from the olive. Just like all of us, everything that we're going through is leading up to something wonderful. I promise you that. And even though we may make decisions that we may feel like we're going backwards, like, am I going backwards? I don't know. Because I do love my job, and I do love what it provides, and I do love this as well. But there may be a day when things get a little too claustrophobic. There may be a day when you're going to have to say, you know what, I need to live for more. And I hope that day is now. Because I promise people, you're missing out if you don't have faith. Because the only thing that matters right now is your relationship with God. Whatever you want to call it, creator of all, the beginning and the end. And in God's eyes, you are the most important part. You are that star. You are that planet that is being born today. So rejoice, be excited. And I do hope that when you do go back to work that you're ready, because it may be a little uncomfortable at first, but it's all working together for the good. Every experience that you have is there to get you to a better place. The question is, are you going to take to the sky when that nest gets too uncomfortable? In the meantime, I'm gonna share that video. I'm gonna put the little nest video if you want to watch. I'm gonna put it at the end of this video too, so you can so at least I don't lose that part, because there's a great message in it. Today we need some encouragement. We need hope. And if my voice wasn't so shot and I wasn't so tired, I'm sure I'd be getting you all fired up. But be fired up for my next show, especially because Noah's Ark, the flood, all of this stuff, this is all it's all too coincidental. It's all too coincidental, and I think I got some great news to share. So do me a favor, subscribe, like, comment, share, tell your friends, and have the best day ever. And I hope that you're okay with me just being real with you. Being real with you. I'm just like you, right? I'm just like you. I have decisions that I have to make, and I don't know, and sometimes I may not act completely in faith. But the good news is I'm never giving up. The good news is, if I make the wrong choice and I fall, I'm going to pick myself back up and make a better choice. I promise you that. I love each and every one of you, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Hey, I told you it was heavy. Look at that, huh? I told you it was heavy. Yeah, I know you probably want me to get into the show, but you see what this is? This is a robin's nest. And you'll see that I already have one up here. I have one up there. That was the one that was in the bush at my front door. Remember? We talked about the birds. Well, the birds, they fledged. And the reason why these nests are important to me, and first of all, I want to tell you a little bit about these nests, right? See, the way they're designed is that there was 3 eggs in there. There were 3 robin babies, right? And they get big pretty quick. And it's designed in a way with the mud. And I don't even look at the complexity of this. I can't make a shoebox. I don't know how they make this, but they make this and they set it up in a way that when the babies, they start to get big, it gets really uncomfortable in there. Yeah, they're like fighting with each other and trying to, so they have to take flight. It's going to be part of the set now. I got some other things that I'm going to share too. And this has been happening for a while. And the reason why I thought this was something, I think that looks nice up there, right? The reason why I thought that we needed to talk about this was because when all of this stuff happened, right, with everything that's going on today, that's got everybody so spooked out and so scared, and people saying, "Oh no, this God can't be in this. God can't have anything to do with this thing that is bringing families closer together. This thing that's bringing the idols that people have worshipped and ripped it away from them and got them to a place where they're forced into what they call a Sabbath rest. You prepare your food now. That's pretty much what's happening. I'm wearing my pajamas as I speak, just so you know. Because of everything that's going on, we've been forced from our jobs, right? I've been forced from my job. I was furloughed. I just got an email finally from the government saying, "Hey, guess what? We because they were backlogged, so it's only been I don't know how long. You see, since it's been a while since April. I think April Fool's Day was the or something like March 31st was my last day, so it was kind of like April Fool's Day is the beginning of this thing. I was furloughed, but ironic, I guess. But I just got an email saying, "Hey, we need some more information from you." I'm like, "Oh, okay, yeah, it's good of you to tell me now." But that's neither here nor there, because I'm very grateful for anything and everything that's going to help. But when I was going through this in the beginning, right, I was really looking for some kind of encouragement, something that I could share for all of you. And that's when I saw the 3 little birds, right? I did a couple of little stories, little YouTube stories, where I talked about the nest and I talked about the eggs. And I like to stress. I get stressed out. I'm like, oh Lord, don't let the egg, let there be eggs. Like the nest was there and then there were no eggs. And I was stressing out for like a week. I'm like, oh, what does it mean? Sometimes I look a little too deep into things. Like a lot of you in the comment section, when you look into the background, you think things that are bad when they're not. They're actually pretty good, but whatever. So the eggs came. I was excited. Then the birdies came. I shared that. Then I was excited. Then they fledged. So they fledged in the front. They fledged in the back. And I got another nest. I got another nest on a pillar on the left side of my door, flanking the other door. And I got another nest in the back. It's so beautiful. So I have these 4 nests. Never had this happen before. I've lived here a long time. Never. So as I'm asking God to just show me that life is going to come out of this, that things are going to be okay, I get these beautiful nests. So now they're going to be a part of the set. And I think that that's a pretty cool thing. I think that's a miracle, if you will. I think that's a miracle. And also I'm doing my yard again. Even though I have terrible allergies and everything else, I got to wear like a bunch of masks. That's okay for today, right? I'm fitting right in. I'm cutting the grass again. I'm taking care of the yard again. No longer will others take care of the property that God gave me. I always did the best job anyway, but I didn't have the time. Now I have the time. So I see God's hand working in all this. But things, they got to get, they got to get better, right? We can't be stuck in this loop here, just like the birdies in the nests. So the way that the mama bird or the dada bird, I don't know who builds the nest. I'm not a nestologist. But the mama bird and the dada bird, when they build the nest, they build it in such a way that it gets uncomfortable. So the bird has to take flight to stay in that nest, right? Instead of, it forces them to do something pretty scary. And that's to take a leap of faith. And I watched them with Danielle in the backyard. I watched one after the other take that leap, flying into things, bumping into things. It's like it breaks your heart. You're thinking, oh no. But they all got back up and they flew. And who knows where they are now. But I know that was a beautiful message for all of you. When everybody was stressed out and everybody was worried about things, Jesus said, he goes, the birds, they don't even worry. They got nothing. They don't toil. They don't go nuts. They got nothing. But they have enough food every day. The flowers, the violets. I don't know what the flower is. Look it up. The lilies, that's what it is. The lilies of the field, right? They neither toil nor sow. So don't you think that God cares enough about you to take care of you? Everybody's so stressed out. Everybody's so worried. And I'd be lying to you if I didn't say that I wasn't one of them. But I'm telling you, people, all right? God has his hand on all of this. It's time you put your faith in a little bit more. More would be the key word. Outside of yourself, outside of your intellect. Stop leaning on your own understanding. Sometimes people come in here and I say things and then, they're fed all these lines in their head of how to properly reprimand me or how to properly put me in my place because they think that I'm saying things and I'm not even saying. I can't tell you how many times I responded to people saying, you're actually accusing me of the very thing that I'm not doing at all. I'm like actually saying that that's a problem. My whole point and what I do here is to get all of you to just seek God. I'm not the guy to tell you the way. I'm not the way, right? Okay, just want to make that very clear. I keep telling you, you want to come to Jacob's well? That's great. Keep coming. You want to get a drink? Come on in. Dive. The waters are deep. It's fun. You feel good. You feel refreshed when you walk away. But I'm telling you, you're going to thirst again. If you put your faith in some YouTuber, if you put your faith in some pastor, if you put your faith in some religious leader, you're going to thirst again. Come to Jacob's well when you want to get a kooky story, you want to be lifted up, but go to the source. Because I promise you, if you ask for the truth, no matter what the cost, if you seek God now, more than ever before, because the world has become a gigantic summer blockbuster and you can't escape it, right? Victory awaits. It's time to fly this little comfy nest that we had because it's getting uncomfortable. It's time to take off. It's time to have faith. It's impossible to please God without faith. So why don't you dive in? Huh? Why don't you just have faith that maybe you're not the end of the story? Maybe the idea of you is not the end of the story. Maybe God is. And maybe God's waiting right now for you just to say, teach me the truth no matter what the cost, so that you can know God's kingdom. Scriptures say if you seek first the kingdom of God, which according to Scripture is righteousness, peace, and joy, and power in the Holy Spirit, if you seek that first, if you seek first being ruled by God, everything's going to be added on to you. So stop worrying about what's to come, because it's going to come regardless. But if you put your faith and your trust in God, when the furnace comes and they heat it up like all this, heat it up, right? Things are going to get hot. It's going to get scary. You're going to be fine in that furnace, I promise, because it's not going to be you there standing alone. That's the story of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in Daniel. We're going to get into that very shortly. But I just wanted to drop that little bit of news to all of you and show you the bird's nest and tell you how happy I am and tell you how awesome it is that I can end this video with a picture of my fig tree. That's right. The fig tree that we've come to know and love on the channel that I've been so concerned with because I'm a terrible, terrible, terrible husbandman. The fig tree that had like the termites attacking it. The fig tree that had the root snapped and then came back. The fig tree that I got bogged down, couldn't get out there in time, couldn't wrap it up for the winter, that looked completely dead. And I thought I killed it. Planted it in the wrong. It's back to life. And isn't it ironic that the day that I uploaded the video, the last video that I just did, if you haven't seen it, you should check it out because it is life-changing. And it's time, you know. And then you should also go check out a video I did about possession, demon possession. Because people think they're depressed. Maybe you just find out that you're possessed by a negative lie, a negative evil entity called a demon. And some would call it maybe even a false belief. But there's something, it's in your head, that's lying to you, that's attacking you. And you start to think it's you, that's when you become depressed. But those lies, they can be cast out once you understand that you don't got to be ruled by the beast anymore. I love each and every one of you. I hope you do have the best day ever. Please do share the channel around. Tell people. Hit a like for me. Give it a comment. Tell everybody to check the channel out. And be well and be happy. And remember, the birds are taken care of, so will you. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching Jacob Israel. Please hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe, and share this channel around. If these shows have helped you, help Jacob to reach more any way you can, and have the best day ever.